All right, Shalom. This is Har1 by Yasharahla of the Lionz Den camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Harakah Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth and that show love and support to this page, man, to the brothers that's in the truth. Hey, man, the topic I want to go over is this what they call the eye of providence. Okay, the eye of providence. Now we know it as the pyramid on the back of the dollar, the eye of Horus, the devil, whatever, Satan. Um, you know, that's what we know it as, the pyramid, going back to Egypt. This is spiritually Egypt, but that's the more historical and religious um mindset of it, meaning when they deal with their spiritual demon on the left hand side, right? Their spirituality, Esau, that's their religion, but they also have another side that deals with banking, and control and military, or the new world order, their operations upon the earth in this carnal realm, that are all shrouded, and at the core of it is their religion, their or their spiritual beliefs, I should say, right? They call it religion, but anyway. So now I came across this article. It's not a lesson I want to do, but it's been happening a lot lately. I'm going with the spirit real quick. The Eye of Providence. Okay, I came across this article on BBC, and it says what? The secret, or the symbol with a secret meaning. Okay, and we know what the meaning is. See, they'll try to say um, that's the devil's eye, all this bullshit, right? But I'm gonna get straight to the point. Annuit Oceptus means crown with success, or Novus Ordo Seclorum, which means new world order. And these numbers right here represent 1776, and that's when the Illuminati really was founded here in America. All right, and also their so-called banking system that they set up. All right, now it says here the Illuminati is a secret society. The Illuminati is basically Masons, Esau. They call themselves the Illuminated Ones, which also you can is transferable or synonymous with Lucifer. All right, the word Lucifer just means light bearer or illuminated ones, and that's dumb right now. They're the ones that are Illuminati, meaning they have foresight, or they can see what others can't, or see in the dark, however you want to call it. All right, they're enlightened. They're the nobles, just like the elect of Israel. They're the illuminated ones, righteously on the right hand side. All right, the light bearers. But the scriptures speak about two different forms of light. If I can get that. All right, in John 1:4, because it speaks about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh Shai being the light, and he controls um, all forms of light, spiritually and carnally. Now it says, John 1:4, in him was life, talking about Yahweh Shai, and the life was the light of men, and the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. You see that? So now, why can the darkness comprehend the night? Because light has nothing to do with darkness. All right. Now, darkness is an essence of itself, just like Esau dwells in darkness. That's their light. All right. Matthew 6, that's their knowledge. It's darkness. That's their life. Matthew 6:22. The light of the eye is the light of the body is the eye. Okay, so the life of the body, or the light of the body, is the eyes, the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, talking about your mind, thy whole body shall be full of light. All right, not having different doctrines, different beliefs, confusion, you know, dwelling in the shade, eventually it's going to become darkness. You need to dwell in the light. 23, it says, but if thine eye be evil, that's Esau. That's what scripture say in Habakkuk 2. You know, it says that the spirit that is lifted up in Esau is not upright in him, is not righteous, it's darkness. All right. If therefore, but if thine eye be evil, the whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? So now, all right. So what they call themselves Illuminati or illuminated ones, they're illuminated with that darkness that the scriptures speak of. All right. If their light is darkness, how great is that darkness? Um, so now it says Illuminati, secret society. The Illuminati is a name given to several groups, all right, families, corporations, both real and fictitious. Historically, anyway, the name usually refers to the Bavarian Illuminati. Illuminati. I want to look them up as well. An Enlightenment era secret society founded on May 1st, 1776, in Bavaria, today part of Germany. All right. Now, and that's where those Edomites stem from as well, man. Pure blooded Edomites, Germany. So anyway, it says, so it was founded on 1776. All right, so now let's get back to this topic, because when he speaks about them being the illuminated ones, and you see this right here, they have the light around this damn eye, and they have different bricks going straight down. Okay, and I'm not into the whole counting all that bullshit, but let's get straight into it, because you have this being the upper class families that I was speaking about in my last lesson. Now you have the Rothschilds and their families at the bottom of this pyramid. See, it's a whole nother pyramid. And you have um, who else? People like the Rockefellers, people that own certain resources, Bill Gates, all these different upper level elites. And then you have at the peak of it, you have um, the 150 families and the 13 families. And then it's like one monarchical family, which is like running everything. All right. And they all run the corporations where the corporations are down. Matter of fact, let me get this diagram. All right. Now it's close to pay close attention to this part here. This is where the people are. Okay. Now let's start at the top. They believe that the spiritual demon Satan is guiding um, their whole system right here. This is a system, a broadcast, sort of like a beam going out. And it's very obvious, man. But then at the top, you have the world monarch. See that? The rulers of the world. But then you have the crown council of 13. So it's like 13 families or 13 leaders. Yep. It says the world richest families, most powerful families. That's all right here. See, at the top of them, then you have the world monarchical family. And then um, what they believe is the all-seeing eye, meaning they oversee all of this, the whole setup from the top to the bottom of Esau's kingdom. All right. And it starts from the top. It's a pyramid scheme that works all the way down to the bottom. Now check this out. Right here, you would have the Rothschilds, all right? Rockefellers, DuPonts, all the names I was naming in the last video I did. Right here, you have the Committee of 300, world's richest, most powerful, what did I say? I can't see that damn word. But so anyway, you have another group of families, probably like the Bushes, and now you have people like Zuckerbergs and shit, more present day, right? Going into this area here, the think tanks. Excuse me, those are people. What's his name, man? I can't remember his name, man. But more of these. Uh, all right, I can't remember one of the name, but I know another one would be people like George Soros. The higher up politicians, what they call their think tanks. Even maybe the Bill Gates too. The Gates Foundation, people like them. What's his name? The guy that owns Tesla. All right, I forgot his name, man. Anyway, they're not important. But what they call their think tanks, all right, innovators and shit like that. All right, let me get another diagram so I can see these words. All right, yeah, it took me a minute to find this one, but it says the think tanks. All right, Bilderberg Group. Ooh, that's when they meet up and they have their private or public meeting in private. You get what I'm saying? Because by law, they're supposed to have those Bilderberg meetings in public. So what they do is they'll hold a big event to where all the world leaders and all these different people that's on this pyramid, they'll meet up and they decide the next steps in their world order. All right. And what happened is they have so much security and police and barricades and protests going on, military, that it'll be in the public, right? There's a lot of public out there. Everybody know they're having it. They're out in the public, but they'll put a dome over it or a building. They'll be in a building and having a meeting in private, but they call it in public. Meaning it's a public affair, but it's in private. That shit is so fucking backwards, man. Shrouded in secrecy. All right. And they call it the round table? It says the United Nations. Ooh, it's deep, right? Of which we have no seat on the United Nations. All right. I can't see what this is, but right here it says the Council of Foreign Relations. The Trilateral Commission. Who's on the Trilateral Commission? Uh what's her name? Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Obama, the Bushes, all of them. All right. So that's their think tanks. And it says World Financial Control. Wow. So that's when you get into the Rothschilds, and their corporations. Okay. Even though they're on the upper echelon with the families, this is their business right here. The World Financial Control from Europe all the way to America, all right, and around the world. They do what? They do that through, as I said yesterday, the IMF, International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank. See that they're tied together. This is over in Europe and Britain. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's London or Britain. And this right here is America, the World Bank. All right. Bank of International Settlements. Central banks, like the Federal Reserve. Tax revenue, the IRS. Interest revenue. Okay. So what would you call Wall Street? So then you have the Bush family. See, they're on a lower level. All their corporations and everything they own, and the Gates and the Bill Gates families. Who you call um, damn, what's his name, man? The Rockefeller that owns the media and his corporations. All right, even though their families are on the upper echelon, their corporations are down here. You see that? Everything they run it from these corporations, these cover-ups. The mobsters used to call it something. I forgot what it was called. When they would they would buy. Yeah, it was a front. It was a front. That's what it was called. It was a front. All right, they would be doing their drug deals or whatever mob stuff they do in the background, but at the same time they will open a candy store or a business like a laundry place, and they will launder money through it. Okay, so that's what these people do. These families, they have corporations, and a corporation is a group of a board of people, a committee. And it's hard for you to point your finger at one person and say that person did it. Why? Because it's a corporation. All right. And a corporation can act as a proxy or a hidden hand for the devil, right? The deceivers, the manipulators, the oppressors. All right. So on this level, you have the world resource control. So they control all the world resources through what? These corporations. All right. The oil, right? The computer, right? IBM, DuPont, okay? DuPont deal with gunpowder and weaponry. Then you have the oil, petroleum. You have over here Pfizer, whoa, Toyota, car industry. I can't see what that is, but the New York Stock Exchange, all right, Wall Street, BH, whatever that is, Monanto, okay. So these are the corporations that they control the world resources with. So they control the world finances right there. The second right here, and they control the world resources. All right, and they use that by using their think tanks, all these different councils. All right here. So now you have, let's go down another level, the world population control. That's crazy. It's so clear, man. Through the control of the resources and the control of the finance, now they control the people or population control through what? Meaning depopulation, right? Herd immunity, moving, migration of people. And they do that through religion, all right? Putting people to sleep in their darkness. We see Christianity up there, fake Judaism, Islam, and that Buddhist bullshit. So it's now, what else do they control the population with? The governments, the presidents. That's why they don't care. Look how low down on the totem pole the president position is over the United States. All right, that position, like you go to your job, and you have a manager, and they have a CEO, president. All right, a chief financial officer, CFO. But it says that they use the governments to control people, control the people, the population. So everything the government's pushing right now, we know who's doing it, and it goes way up the ladder. Okay, it says the intelligence community, the intelligence community, military. They use the military. They use the police. They use the courts and the prisons. That's ran by what? The government that governs all of this. Then you have the media, all right? Religion, government, and media. That's what they use to control. And the media is what? Disney, Viacom, all right? They own everything, even BET, GE, General Electric. I think that was, I can't remember what that was, JP Morgan or DuPont, AOL, America Online, basically the internet. You can throw Facebook and all them up in there too. And then you have what? Or Facebook can tie into intelligence community as well. Instagram, and they use their schools with indoctrination. And then you have what? The population and the workers. So now this is where the people are at on the bottom. See that? And they have no place. Their only place is to what? They're gonna control each other. They're gonna use them to control each other as they do now. You go to Walmart, right at the front door. You got your mask? You gotta put one on. You know, they're using each other to turn against each other. You know, and it's gonna get worse. Okay. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 17 of 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right. Uh, and the reason there's gonna be lack of bread and sword and chaos is one because Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai has called it into manifestation, and two because Esau, man, they're the thief. They got all the damn riches, and the way they're manipulating the system, they're gonna cause everybody to go against each other. All right, fighting against each other instead of fighting against the true enemy. All right, 2 Timothy 3 and 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived, man. But so, all right, so 2/3 of our people that are amongst this group here, they're evil and they're waxing worse and worse. And the wicked of these nations, these heathens, they're waxing worse and worse. All right, and the pressure from their religions, from the government, from the media, from the schools, and the corporations stemming from all these families is going to put pressing down on these damn people. And they're going to turn against each other. All right. See that? And what's funny is that these damn devils, these people, because they're just human beings, they came from this, built this. So it's the new Tower of Babel of confusion. This is Malachi 1 and 4. All right. And this right here started with Herod the great Edomite. He was one of the ones that wanted to go back to Idumea or Edom and rebuild it. All right. Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom saith, so Edom is the so-called white man, the Caucasians, these fake Jews. All right. And so that's Edom. All right. And they're trying to rebuild themselves. They've built themselves up and they're trying to keep the riches and the fatness of the earth, keep their blessing. But it's time for Jacob's blessing to come into power, into fruition. Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished. So they were impoverished, man. Look at the Rothschilds. I did a lesson on them yesterday, and where they started off in Frankfurt, all right, in Rome, and they were in poverty. The scriptures say they were base men, children of base men, basically cavemen, dwelling in caves, grunting. All right, and it says what? They said they are impoverished, because that's what Edom was. It was a desert land, an impoverished land. It says, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. All right. So they built this whole system up, and the Lord said, "What? They shall build, but He's gonna throw it down, ultimately, crush it, just like an anthill. And anybody that's up under it, they're gonna get crushed too. The wine press. All right. Now you show me another family on this earth or a people on this earth that have a system set up the way Esau does around the world. But you got these idiots out here saying that Ishmael, the Saudis, they run the world. They're Esau. The scriptures say what? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he, man? If they the ones that created this damn system, the lies, everything, the deception. If they're not the wicked, who, where, and who the hell is he? All right, who is it? You see that? Saudi Arabia got set up by America as a proxy to go to war against Iran and Russia and to have a foothold in the Middle East. And they have a printing press because of America to be able to continually print dollars. As long as they allow um, force countries to buy oil from them, all right, in dollars, over in the Middle East. So America helped to establish Saudi Arabia to the point, to the level it's at now. All right. So how is the Saudis ruling the world? So who it would be is Esau. They're ruling the world through this system that I'm showing, through this construct, this committee, this family setup that they have, business, control, dominance. All right. This is Sirach 10:8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. All right. So that whole system is built upon unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. All right. It's like a vacuum that sucks up the riches and resources and freedom and um of the earth, man, that they destroy through their system. All right. So the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Why is earth and ashes proud? So Esau's proud. They just earth and ashes though. They're humans. But they're proud. They want everything. They want to get it now, like Scrooge McDuck. You know? Remember Scrooge McDuck, he'll go crazy. He'll hurt his own grandkids over that one gold coin. All right, or that leprechaun. Remember the movie Leprechaun back in the day? That motherfucker chase you all over the damn world for that one gold shilling. All right. So he says, what? Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. So they're the wicked. They're the ones that have to be rich now. All right. The covetous man. The covetous man means somebody that has to be rich or get their desires right now in this life, but willing to do anything to get it, and they set up systems in place to get it. That's them. On a major scale, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. The earth is given into their hand. This is what they're doing with it. They set up a whole system where they control every aspect of life, in this carnal world. All right. For such an one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. So 2/3 of our people, they sell their soul to this system that they have set up. All right. Brought the scripture out before, of course, but I want to read it now because this whole structure right here is from these families and spiritual demon Satan on the left hand side, and these elite families and rulers and leaders. They're going to push the chip. All right. The RFID chip, the mark of the beast, for that final form of control. And they're going to use the religion, the governments, the intelligence community, the military, police, courts, prisons, and the people, the population, the workers, the media, and the schools to administer that shit. All right. And they're going to get pressed down by these corporations here. And that's what really keeps the economy going. the investors from these people, the uh, hedge fund investors, right? Short-term investors, long-term investors. But the Lord said this, Job 5:12, He disappointeth the devices of the crafty. So this is one of their devices. Not the chip as well, but the word device just means imagination. Just like Nimrod, he imagined the Tower of Babel. See, now they're imagining their system. They built it, but the Lord said they're not gonna feel quietness in their belly. You know, they're gonna devour some people, but they're not gonna be. They're gonna lose their seat and their rulership upon the earth. Job 5:12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, the Esau of the crafty ones that perform a craft in their hand or create policies or that build something out of craft. See, they crafted up this um what's it called? Eye of Providence. All right. And it says the counsel of crafties. So the Lord is going to disappoint their imagination, their plans, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. All right. So it's saying what? So that their hands cannot perform their support, their undertaking, their understanding, you know, their success. All right. So they're abiding success. So they won't be able to perform of the effect of wisdom. So the Lord gonna put out their lights. All right. Now I'm gonna end with this. They call it we a lot of people call it the all-seeing eye or the eye of the pyramid or whatever the devil it basically is. But it says they call it the eye of providence. Providence means it's a noun. It says they mean they have foresight, prudent. All right. Um, and prudent means to have foresight, anticipate or wisdom, anticipation. So calculated, wise anticipation, timely care of preparation. Whew. So that's why everything they've been doing, they've been preparing it. You know, preparing their new world order to unleash it, and they're doing it now. It's called a Great Reset. That's the new name for it, or the Great Cleansing. From old French, providence, divine providence, foresight. That's what they call themselves, the Illuminati, the illuminated ones. Meaning they have the foresight, all right? And directly from Latin, providentia, foresight, precaution, foreknowledge. Why do they have the foreknowledge? Because they planning it, all right? To look ahead, all right? This is Ezekiel 28:3. Because they're prudent. Esau's is prudent, all right? But it's cunning and uh, left-handedness, man. Ezekiel 28:3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. So Esau has become wiser than Daniel in their technology and stealing of information upon the earth, right? Going all the way back to Alexander and the Library of Alexandria, stealing books, going from shore to shore. And now today you have the internet, all right? And knowledge has increased. And Esau has become wiser than Daniel. They dealing with all kind of shit, man. Okay, and anyway, move on. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, so like it. 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding. All right. So with their covetousness and their providence or prudence, thou hast gotten thee riches, as I just read in the prior scriptures. So through this system, this pyramid scheme that they have set up for dominance, they have gotten much riches, man, and has gotten thee gold and silver in thy treasures. All right. So through their cunning and craftiness, they've gotten the resources of the world. All right. But by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic, hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Man. So these devils they're lifted up because of the system that they have set up, the image of the beast, right? And and their plans, their foresight. So their heart is lifted up. But the scriptures say the spirit that is lifted up in them is not upright. All right. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God, man. That's what they think they are. The all-seeing eye, the eye of providence. Like, man, whatever. Foresight, controlling the masses of the people, creating the upper class, lower class, and middle class. Now they're getting the goal and the plan is to get rid of the middle class, and they want to just have the pyramid that I showed you, and just have the upper class, rich, elites, corporations, governments, or whatever, and then have that control the masses of the people under it, all the nations. All right. So they want that what they call white supremacy or Edomite supremacy. So that by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic, a business, hast thou increased thy riches, and that's the blessing that was given to Esau to get the blessing of the sword and to gain the fatness of the earth, the riches of the world. And thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches, like Scrooge McDuck. All right, they got this system built, and it's a cash cow. And it's all vain because look at Rockefeller, he out of here. Look at uh, Senior Bush, George Bush Senior, he's gone, and all the rest of them elites they're going to be gone unless they go into straight into slavery. So it's all vanity. Verse 6, therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God. That's what they've done. They've lifted themselves up and trying to play God upon earth. Behold, therefore, will I bring strangers upon thee. It's talking about America, the terror of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. Okay. So you're going to defile America. All right. Now I'm gonna end it with this, verse 9. This is for those upper elites, those one that think they God, that think that they're the power. All right. Especially Illuminati families that are way up on the hierarchy. This is to them. Will thou yet say before him that slayeth thee? So in that day, Esau is going to be slayed. They're going to be put in chains. All right. Will they say in that day to the one that's putting chains on their ass, I am God, but thou shalt be a man and no God, in the hand of him that slayeth thee. All right. Revelation 14 and 9. So this is for the elect. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, that system, basically the providence that they set up, you know, through the banking, through the media, through all of it. Any man worship that, right? And the New World Order and their blockchain system and chip. If you submit to that, he says this, and receive his mark in his hand, in his forehead or his hand. So they get that chip that's going to connect them completely to this pyramid scheme, or if you call it system or image. And the chip is going to be tied to everyone's birth certificate or social security number. what they call the straw man. All right. Um, so the Lord said, if you get that, you're submitting to their system through the government. All right. And that chip is going to be controlled through media, through the schools, through the police, through the military, through uh, the stores and shit, and then ultimately the corporations. And who over them is the think tanks. All right. And you keep going all the way up to the upper elite families. The Lord said this, though. The one that submit to it, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Okay. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. They have no rest day or night, no worship, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever received the mark of his name. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom, because the image represent the system